Yeah. What's good, YouTube? It is your boy HenVincible. That's me. And today we're doing something a little different. Today we are starting a series called Henny Thoughts. This is the name of my discussion series. Whenever I have a topic about anime or Power Rangers or wrestling or there's anything that's not gameplay, as you can see by the title, we are doing Syrup Village Truth and Lies. Syrup Village, aka the Usopp recruitment arc, for me was really where One Piece started kicking up to that next level. We gained a new crew member in Usopp, and we got our first official ship. But not only that, this is also the first time that we have seen all of the members up to this point get active and get washed. Up to this point, Luffy was definitely the strongest in the East Blue, and him getting put out of commission for several episodes raised the stakes for me. Zoro gave and received his fair share of damage, especially with losing two of his swords for part of the fight. We had just met Usopp, and he had already gotten put into airplane mode by Kuro. Nami even took some damage for the team and almost lost her head if it wasn't for Luffy. All of that aside, what really stood out to me in this arc, especially on the rewatch, is the theme of lies. The ones we tell other people and the ones that we tell ourselves. Of course, on the surface, we have Usopp, the boy who cries pirate. He tells lies as a coping mechanism and to give himself hope that his dad will come back, even though he kind of should have a reason to not like his dad that much. But even that gets a different light when you come back from how far Usopp has gotten as a character. From town crier to god status, who might even have the strongest observation hockey in series. There's a theory in the online community about Usopp's lies that have all come true, to the point of his lies being possible visions of the future. From a Cerebus, which we met in Thriller Bark, to a dragon, which we met in Punk Hazard, to even the 8,000 man army lie, which might be true depending on how many members are in the Grand Fleet, as well as his followers that he gained in Dressrosa. But the concept of truth and lies hits a lot harder when you think about the baddie of this arc, Captain Kuro, who just so happens to be the biggest liar of them. He lied to his crew about the motivations behind faking his death and leaving the crew for this master plan of his. Obviously, he lied to Kaya about everything for 3 years and killed her parents, though he claims the mother's death was an accident. He lied to the government twofold, because what I didn't even realize on the first watch is that the Marine that clouded up off capturing Captain Kuro was Asshole Morgan from Shellstown. I didn't even put two and two together as to that his jaw got broken. That's why he had that metal thing. So I really now blame Kuro twice for making this deal with him in the previous arcs. Worst of all, though, he lied to himself. He thought himself above the barbaric life of piracy, robbing and killing. He was going to kill Kaya and take her inheritance. As soon as his plan failed, which was his own fault, he turned into a maniac and was going to kill his entire crew. He got consumed by his lie. Like, the end game, if you really fully think about it, does not make that much sense. How long did he think Kaya's inheritance was gonna last? For one. Two, why did he not confirm the kill with Mary? And three, why did he even jump Mary in the first place? There was no reason other than he couldn't control himself because of the full moon. So if that's true, if that's the case, then he was galactically screwed way before the Rubber Kid and Pinocchio linked up together. Like, that was out of anybody's control. In totality, his plan was a pirate invasion that somehow only killed one girl, and then unexplainedly the cat pirates leave. Kuro gets the inheritance, however much that might have been, and either splits it with the crew, making his portion smaller, or he kills his entire crew, which is even worse than piracy. That's treason. Also, let me remind you, Kuro's bounty when he turned himself in was 16 million, which he collected none of. Why didn't he have Django hypnotize Morgan and include the point of getting the reward and giving it to us? Even if he still went through with the plan for Kaya's inheritance, they still have more money and maybe wouldn't have to play a 3-year-long game. Now, there's one more perspective I want to throw at you on the theme of truth and lies. Different than the boy who cried pirate, who may or may not have godly future sight. Different than the wayward captain who, for someone with the epithet of king of plans, had a really final plan. I want you to take you from the perspective of someone who has the power to turn lies into truth. Django the hypnotist. Now, you may be looking at me crazy, like, well, okay, why is Django so important? Django was integral to each one of Kuro's lies and plans. Django was truly his diamond in the rough. Django hypnotized their crew member into believing wholeheartedly that he was Captain Kuro. He hypnotized Morgan into becoming the megalomaniac that we saw in the previous arcs. He might have hypnotized all of the cat pirates to wait for this 3-year plan, because whoo boy, that takes some dedication for real. And he's also a walking MMO buff. Django makes the weak strong and the strong monstrous, as we saw with the Nyanban brothers. Django was key to Kuro's inheritance plan for Kaya. Django was probably how Kuro was going to clean up the rest of the crew if he didn't want to share any of the money. This long-legged, moonwalking, second in command is honestly one of the most busted non-devil fruit users we've seen with the feats he's accomplished. He's why Luffy was taken out multiple times. If Luffy wasn't made of rubber, he would have died on that cliff. And that's my case study on Sierra Village. I hadn't planned on doing a rewatch from the beginning of One Piece. It's something that came up recently with a friend of mine who's been wanting to get into the series, and it was so layered. All that entire arc is so layered when you look at it from a different view, when you look at it from where everything we've been, all of Usopp's developments. It didn't Django join the Marines? Actually, we got a moment in Stampede between Django and Kuro. So what do you think? What do you think about the topic of lies and getting lost in your own lie? Usopp, who is either telling the truth that we don't know that is the truth yet, or has the superpower of forcing his lies into reality just based on either will or happenstance. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, let me know how you plan on celebrating One Piece Day this year. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss a video or a premiere. And I will see y'all when I see y'all.